adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised. Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Loveline, coast to coast.
Hey. Loveline, thanks for turning the mic on, Anderson. Appreciate that. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew over there. Dr. Drew, board-certified internist and addiction medicine specialist. Our guest tonight is Save Ferris. Monique Powell is here, as well as Brian Mashburn, and we're glad to have Save Ferris back. It's been, seems like too long. A couple of years? How long has it been? 6 months?
No way.
That'd be crap.
No way.
It's been at least a year.
At least a year.
At least a
year.
Weren't we going to be in a video of yours at one point?
Yes.
Whatever happened to that?
We never made that video.
Oh, see, Adam? The curse.
No, I just can't. I can't take Anderson screaming erroneous information into my ear night after night. You imagine it's as if you're playing some kind of bad game show where someone is screaming the wrong answer into your ear while you're looking at the wheel go around. That's what I
the
have.
world is your oyster.
All right, thank you.
Because that's all the world is.
What people don't know about Anderson is that he keeps that on a mini cassette, so when we're outside smoking and I pop off, he fires it up. You can't articulate yourself any better than that.
Now, actually, the last time we saw Monique, we were at the Anaheim Pond.
Yeah.
Her parents were in the audience.
That wasn't the last time we saw Monique.
And you were talking about your vagina on stage. That's all I remember. And we thought, oh, my God, Mom, Dad, enjoy.
Yeah.
My parents said that they were in the elevator and they saw you and they just started cracking up. They were more embarrassed for you than they were for me, I think.
Yeah, I think you came on the show then after that.
Yeah, it was right around that.
That discussion. But we love Save Ferris. As you know, I jammed on stage with Save Ferris at
with
the
the
Weenie
fabulous
Rose.
flugel.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Took out, dusted off the old flugelhorn. Got up there and wowed the partisan crowd over there at the Weenie Roast a couple of years back. So this is good. When is you got a new album maybe coming out in a few months?
February.
Now, what are we going to hear tonight? I mean, what Save Ferris music are we hearing on this show?
Well, someone wanted to hear "Come On, Eileen," so
all right, well,
we're going to play that. But we also have pieces of some new songs that are going to be on the new album.
And we'll hear that, but we don't want to play the whole thing in its entirety because we don't somebody ripping it off and like downloading or doing something like that.
Probably don't want
there.
Yeah,
is that it?
That's
it. Yeah.
It's true. This is called Gina. That's all you get, mofos.
All right, so and also
no, you got to come to the show to see them because these aren't.
Well, now I want to hear that song.
It's a good song.
Up, Drew. We'll hear at least half of it.
Will you come to the show in Anaheim, Drew?
I think it'll be fun. I would love to do that.
Drew was in Anaheim like 2 days ago, dropping his kids off at the Disneyland Hotel. Who are on a first-name basis with every staff member of that hotel. Am I right?
Well, they were the old one. Now the new one they're learning everyone.
Young Master Pinsky. Yes, step in. Charles, get his slippers. They go right to the presidential suite. Please. How many days? Would you say it's fair to say that those kids have spent half of their time on this earth inside of the Disneyland Hotel? I mean, out of their 9 years, would you say 4.5? Maybe I'm exaggerating. 4 years.
Exaggerating a little. All right,
4 years. Jesus Christ. I didn't even know what that Disney... Did you go to Disneyland growing up?
A couple times.
You grew up around here, right?
You were in County, weren't you?
I did. I grew up out there.
A couple times.
I couldn't even
support me on this one. She lived there too.
But we snuck in a lot.
Yes,
you never went to the hotel, did you?
I went to the hotel actually once or twice.
Once or twice.
You stayed there?
But I never stayed there.
Oh.
I never stayed there. We just went and saw the water show and the light show and played the little cars and stuff.
To me, it was, I went to Disneyland a handful of times growing up out here in Southern California, but the hotel was like, don't even look at it, don't even dream about it. Drew, what?
Same thing for me.
Well, what do you need to stay at the Disneyland Hotel for? This is what I was yelling at you for. You live out here.
No.
You know what I mean?
You do that for the grown-ups, not for the kids.
All right.
That's true.
Did you drop your kids off and go home?
No.
No.
What are you
Yes,
talking
that's
about?
what you said. You didn't stay there. Did you stay there last time? You stayed there a week ago
No, I was there all day, came here, and went back there.
and slept at the
And slept at the
Disneyland?
hotel.
Big pussy. You're going to ruin those kids. The boys are going gay, the girls going lesbian. That's what I've decided. If you're lucky, one of them comes out straight. One comes out bi. Just one. That's best case scenario is one of the boys comes out bi. All right. So we're going to hear something from Save Ferris. We'll hear an old one. We'll hear some bits of some new ones. I'll give you some dates where you can find them coming up. One coming up in Anaheim, by the way, at the House of Blues, which I've never been to. Is that a good one?
It's good. Mm-hmm. It's smaller.
Oh, it is?
Smaller than, it's like they call it like what, a B type?
But it's nice. And that downtown Disney is pretty amazing. So there's all this stuff there around it.
Is the House of Blues in
Downtown Disney?
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
What's nice is it gives us an opportunity to play an all-ages show in Orange County, which is so hard to do now. So
Why? Why is that hard?
they just closed down most of the all-ages venues down there.
Is it like an insurance thing, or it's just they make more money selling booze, or
Your guess is as good as mine.
do they sell booze at all ages shows for people who have hand stamps or something?
Rarely, if ever.
Oh, really? Because it seems like that's where they make a lot of their money, right? I mean, all those, they get 700 cups out of a $40 keg, and they sell them for $5 a piece, and you do the math.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll hear something from Save Ferris, or more than something from Save Ferris as the night goes on. Gina?
Yes.
You're 22?
Yes.
What's up?
Gina.
Well, I got a problem. I can't orgasm during sexual intercourse, and I can't during oral sex either. I've orgasmed twice
In your life?
in my life.
By yourself?
Oh no, I can do it by myself, no problem.
Okay.
Just with a partner, I can't.
And, well, how did you do it the 2 times you did it?
One time I was on top, and the other time we were doing it missionary,
Well,
and it was with 2 different partners.
That's ahead of the curve.
well, that's versatile.
Yeah. I mean, she's able to, but what's holding you back the rest of the time?
I don't know.
Is he cooperating with you?
This,
Different guy?
the sex is great, because I'm married. I just got married a year ago.
Is this the same guy? This is the guy you had the orgasms with?
No.
No, that's the problem.
No.
Except the sex is great, Adam.
That's great. It's dynamite.
Fabulous, fantastic.
Because she's married.
Yeah.
No.
That's a guarantee of great sex.
It's good sex, but I just can't go. And I don't know why.
Now, when you did you go in front of a guy that you were in love with?
No.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there's too much at stake. Maybe you don't want to give it away. Maybe you feel too vulnerable or too attached or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What's the longest that you've gone for
With him.
with him?
With my husband?
Yeah, like how long have the two of you
Well,
been having sex for in one sitting?
it usually lasts about 20 minutes. I mean,
20 minutes.
I mean, we can
Respectable.
do it 2 or 3
Respectable.
times a night if he wants to,
You can do it 2 or 3 times a night.
All right.
Maybe
He's young.
How do you masturbate to orgasm? And why can't you incorporate that into whatever you guys do?
Guess a little too embarrassed to do that.
Why?
clitoral stimulation?
Yes. That's
Well,
Throw that in.
But
Throw it in.
The thing is, I can't even go with a vibrator.
What do you do?
Put it in and turn it on.
So you said you can't do it with a vibrator.
No, I can't go with a vibrator either. I have to do the...
But hold on. Wouldn't you turn it on and then put it in? You don't put it in and then turn it on, do you?
You can do that too.
Oh, it makes a mess. It's like when you put the beater into the
Oh no.
into the whipped cream and then flip it on and it goes flying everywhere. You got to get it moving first and slowly sink it in. It's a mess.
I don't know what kind of vibrators you've been playing with.
Vagina all over the room.
Adam,
All over the room.
So I understand.
Talk about vagina monologues.
You can't incorporate that into what you're doing with him.
No.
That's what you need to do, Jim.
No, I know,
I
but
don't know if it would make me comfortable
hold
enough.
on, quiet down. Women can't do that.
Do what?
When a woman, for a woman masturbating, it's not like when a male masturbates where it's really a mechanical thing.
Yeah, it can be, yeah.
Oh, really? You
Yeah.
can do that? Your mom listening?
Her mom told her to do that when she gets headaches.
Yes.
Oh,
of
that's
course.
right.
I'm an expert at that.
But Gina doesn't sound as freed up as you, and it sounds like she would be a little self-conscious doing that in front of a guy. And so she can't get
married.
to that place.
She's married. What does she have to worry about?
She needs to figure it out.
She needs to free up.
Yeah.
Free up.
She needs to work on it. She really
She needs to run around the house naked.
Should she run, or can she just saunter?
She needs to dance around the house naked.
Because what if
they need to have fun?
What if she slipped and hurt herself, and that's where they found her? That's why I don't run when I'm naked. I'm going to trip on my balls and be airlifted out of the place naked. That's my whole thing. That's why, as you know, Drew, I don't jack off in the shower. It's the only place in the house I don't beat off, because I'm scared I'm going to lose my footing, whack my head on a soap
How did they
dish.
find him? Well, Mr. Carolla.
You got to get some dress for that shower, yo.
Ma'am, don't go in there. I know it's your son. We'll have an open casket. Don't go in. Oh, Christ, no. Leg spread eagle, handful of Nivea, clutching onto. Like one hand's got the shower curtain, the other has a jugs,
One hand is attached to the penis. What are you talking about?
Rigor mortis is set in. We have to pry the jugs from his hand. He's been there a number of days. A neighbor noticed the smell. It's not pretty, ma'am.
But you know what I think about marriage? I think is that marriage is a time. It's time for you to have a good time because you found that partner that's going to love you regardless of whether or not
you're a freak.
Your butthole is hairy or whatever.
Why did she look at me when she said that?
Because you look like a hairy butthole.
Well,
no, he has one. He doesn't look like one. Let's be serious.
Haley?
Yeah?
You're 16. What's up?
I want to talk to Monique Powell.
Here she is.
Hi.
Hi.
I love you.
Thanks.
I saw you at the Wild Duck in Eugene last year. Oh, no, 2 years ago.
Oh, cool.
You were so beautiful.
Thank you.
And presumably you still are.
Thank you very much.
You were wearing that blue dress with the stars, and then you had stars painted on your arm.
Yeah, Terry King made that dress, actually.
You were beautiful.
Thank you.
But I'm trying to get my mom to get me singing lessons, because right after I went to your show, I told my mom I want to be able to sing like Monique Powell.
Okay.
And that's possible.
Good time.
Yeah.
I think that's very possible.
Go right ahead.
What, right now?
No.
No, okay, well, yeah.
No.
Do you know a Save Ferris song you want to sing?
I know approximately 11 Save Ferris songs.
Wow.
Well, why don't you give us one?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, then don't.
I know, I will if you want me to.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. You're grown, so grown up, so grown, so grown up now. I must say more than ever.
Da-da-da-da.
That was Adam's part on the flugelhorn. You remember your part, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
I was actually doing the fingerings on the spit valve. It took me a while before I realized I had to move my hand up top. All right, Haley.
You definitely sound like you have a lot of promise, Haley. Good luck with your lessons.
Good times, baby.
Now I've got a hankering for that song.
Yeah? Oh, okay. Drew knows good radio. He knows how to do a smooth transition. You got a hankering for Come On, Eileen?
Ace.
Well, I'll tell you what. What would you say if I said let's play that right now?
Better check the time.
I'd say it's 10, 13, and 30 seconds. That is 46 minutes and 36 seconds away from the top of the hour. Come on, Eileen. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Save Ferris, everybody. That's why we love them so much. Brian and Monique are both here from the band. We will give you a couple of dates where you can find Save Ferris coming up in the very near future, and here's some snippets from some new stuff they've been working on that should be out on a Save Ferris album very shortly. Brian?
How you guys doing?
You're 20? Not you, Brian. This Brian, sorry. But jump in, Brian. Fine.
How you doing? Well,
Yeah.
First of all, I just want to say I love you guys' show. I watch the Man Show all the time, too.
Fantastic.
Whatever.
I'm a big fan of that.
Great.
I got some questions for you guys. I want to ask Dr. Drew what he thinks, if he thinks what those terrorists are behind the anthrax virus. or just his opinion on that.
I mean, the recent problem down in Florida?
Yeah, why popping on Florida and just, how it's coming up right after New York.
Well, listen, I hope they are, because if that's the best they can do with the anthrax virus, I'm all for it.
That's kind of what I was thinking, too. I thought, boy, if this is the way it's going to go, we'll be fine.
And by the way, icing some guys from a tabloid is not going to capture the hearts of the country. People's general consensus is that they had it coming. Yeah, I hope this is it, because if that's it, great. You got
bring it on, yeah.
One fatality, and someone else has contracted it. There may be a third person, but that's not effective spreading of a biological warfare by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think it is, and I don't think Drew does. Drew?
No, they're treating it as some sort of criminal behavior, that some crime occurred, not necessarily terrorism.
I gotcha.
But I think it is a time that we all need to stay focused and vigilant and aware and prepare.
How do we do that?
Well, they're advocating that people primarily watch out for strange behaviors. People that people are leaving things behind, that people are 8 guys in a room with no job living next to you, this kind of thing.
Right.
And then I think you
playing hacky sack with a goat's head and barbecuing a whole lamb like in the backyard. Yeah.
I think
time to get on the horn.
I think people should have a water supply. I think they should have a transit street. It's like an earthquake preparedness.
Yeah.
And an antibiotic supply. I think people ought to have something.
Well, where do you get the antibiotic supply?
Your doctor.
And is he going to give it out? I mean,
what's he going to do? Withhold it?
Well,
he's not the one issuing. It's a pharmacist.
Well, where's my Quaaludes I asked for 5 years ago?
That's the point.
That's my point. Because your thing is like, you don't need Quaaludes. I'm like, yes, I do. And you're like, wait till you need the Quaaludes, and I'll score you the lubes, dude. But I'm saying, how about just a big jar of Quaaludes right now in case I run into trouble?
I've never seen anyone become a penicillin junkie, though.
Good point.
Good point.
That's a good point. All right.
There'd be a lot of yeast infections running around if that were the case.
All right, so, hey, Brian?
Yeah.
Don't freak out.
All right.
You're fine there, buddy.
Yeah, I was just wondering what he had thought about that. My other question is, I've been with my girlfriend about 13 months, and when we still have sex, she still gets pain while we're having sex and a couple days afterwards, too.
Has she had a pelvic exam recently?
Was she self-exam?
Has she had a pelvic exam recently?
Yeah, she went to the gyno like a couple months ago.
And what'd they say?
And everything was fine. And I don't know, we use lubricants, everything like that.
Did you get a pelvic ultrasound by any chance?
Did she get a pelvic ultrasound? I'm not sure.
Because that's something, sometimes there can be cysts or endometriosis or various things that can cause discomfort, structural problems that might be missed without the ultrasound. So it's something worth continuing to go back and ask about if you're still having symptoms.
Well, she's pretty tiny, too. She's 4'11".
Here we go.
85 pounds.
Oh, my goodness.
She's 18 and I'm 21.
85 pounds. Wow.
Yeah.
And what's your penis weigh, about 40?
About 40, yeah.
44.
40 grams?
Mine's like 40 grams wet. Nude.
Wet
totally
nude.
Undressed.
Dripping wet.
No, yeah.
Straight out of the shower?
Yeah, wet.
No, I don't know if it's because she's small and it's just...
Well, maybe that's it. That could be. She's 80 pounds.
She's about 85 pounds.
Could you put a little weight on?
She's only 4'11", though. She's tiny.
Yeah.
4'11".
All right.
She's a little girl.
I was like you with the villagers in the snow globe.
Yeah. Once in a while when I'm feeling bad about my size, I shake up the snow globe and I put my penis on it and I pretend that my penis is crushing a village.
The snow globe with the village inside the snow.
Yeah, I do the voices of the people. Oh, look out! Sam's penis! Oh my God, the huge penis! Oh my God! It's blocking the sun! It's really the lamp, but they think it's the sun because I hold it under the shade and they just see the orb.
Sure. Understood.
Run into your homes! They're like little gingerbread houses. They smash it, and they talk about, the force field's working, because, they think the glass is like the force field. It's crazy. Well, I should gurgle when I talk, because it's filled with water, right?
No, they hear it just fine.
Another blizzard is hit! Why does that giant penis attack us whenever the blizzard hits? They're very superstitious now.
We can understand.
All right.
That's incredible.
Save Ferris is here. True story, true.
You are so imaginative.
True story.
Yes,
We'll take ourselves a little break. We'll be back with Save Ferris and Jeff, who wants to know if there's a safe way to enlarge his penis after this.
Hi, this is Seth Green, and you're listening to Loveline, you sick perverts.
Yeah. I love that Seth Green.
Me too.
I love it when he does the voice from the Family Guy.
Hi, this is Chris Griffin, and you're listening to Loveline, which I'm not allowed to listen to because they say words like breasts.
Sounds kind of like Ralph from The Simpsons.
Yeah, it's got a little Ralphie Wiggum in him.
These berries taste like burning.
Seth Green has worked non-stop since he began in the business.
I made him read his bio as this character.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think kind of torture him. Oh, then I made him read the phone book as that character. What? Oh, outgoing. Did I have him do an outgoing message? Oh, wait a minute.
Hi. Adam. Adam's not here. Oh, if you could just call back another time.
That's right. I got to get that onto my phone machine. I don't know how to do it, though. So I don't have that kind of technology.
It sounds like all my patients with Parkinson's disease. It bothers me.
You got it. Well, here's the thing. You got to see the Family Guy, and you got to see the character. You have to picture the character that he does, the fat, screwy kid of the Family Guy. Then it's extra funny. Brian and Monique are both here from Save Ferris. Thank you. We'll hear some new stuff, some samples from some Save Ferris new material coming up shortly. And let's get back to the phones and speak to Jeff, who's 23. Jeff?
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
What's up? Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you could shed some light on this. Just, whether it's internet or email forwards that you get or junk mail or whatever, advertisements, everywhere you go, it seems like there are different kinds of ads for penile enlargements, and I'm wondering if there's a safe way to do it or if one...
I don't think any of these are particularly dangerous. Of course, the surgeries are more dangerous than that, but...
You're talking about vacuum devices and things like that? Or the pills?
Stuff like that. There's a lot of things like herbal stuff, like pills and things like that.
Right, forget that.
I always love those commercials, hey fellas, you ever hear these commercials where the sexy chick is talking about why be average when you can be, and they did some poll, but 68% of women say they're not satisfied with their man's size. Oh my God. It just tugs at the insecure heartstrings of every idiot listening out there.
It's pretty sad.
Yeah, I say smack that snow globe and feel good about yourself. Also, I had an idea, too, that I bounced off Drew. He didn't seem to take much notice of it, but I'm still behind it, which is instead of lengthening the penis, how about hollowing out the area around it? Just digging out the area around the penis, really making it look that much bigger.
Yeah, like you'd cut down the grass around your mail.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it. The grass grows high around the mailbox, makes the mailbox look shorter.
Right.
Dig out around the mailbox, and it looks like you got the world's tallest mailbox, right?
Right.
See what I'm saying, Jeff?
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, you need to excavate that area around the penis.
I've not yet met that person for whom his life was made more meaningful, more successful, more fulfilled through doing anything to his penis other than masturbating.
It's true.
And actually, you'd have an easier time shrinking your balls to make your penis look bigger than you would actually getting your penis to be bigger.
Well, you could certainly get some mileage that way.
I could take up some skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could cut off some extra and make a whole drum kit.
Oh, God.
Yeah, with like a set of congas, too,
Oh, man.
I got enough extra skin down there, I really do.
Things that come way down the side.
Yeah, those right down the side. My balls are... Finally, some use for my balls.
Can make lampshades.
All right, Jeff, lampshades, conga drums.
Just a word of advice, Jeff. It's not the size of the boat, it's the motion.
No, wait a minute. Let's talk to him. Because those platitudes make men go, oh, yeah, right, sure, they're trying to make us feel good.
I swear.
All right. Now, is it not the case? Now, if it's not true.
No, I promise.
Is too big more of a problem than too small? And I know this.
Well, it's definitely a problem if you can't get it in.
Or it hurts.
Yeah.
Because that's what we hear much more about that than too small.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Do it like that, baby.
Right, and most guys, if they can do a good job orally, are in sexually, right?
Yeah.
Like here. That's my technique. I call it the carpet bombing. So I hit everything.
I'm not sure
I
if
don't
it's
do
into
this.
that.
I don't do the smart bomb. I take out the whole village.
Right.
Women, children, livestock.
That's the other thing he does.
Everything.
The snow globe force field gets a little of that too once in a while.
No,
Well, she didn't jump at that the way
I know.
most did, yeah.
You don't like oral sex.
No, not the way.
We
No,
can
I
really
do,
get
but when
along.
you reenact it for me, yeah, it makes my cheeks real rosy. It makes me wish I wasn't sitting here right now.
Right, you'd like to be home with me, maybe in a jacuzzi.
Probably not.
Well, look.
I'd rather be alone with a nice jacuzzi jet.
Oh, yeah.
No, you know what? First of all, my view on oral sex is that men should definitely not even think about penetration before they go down on a woman.
That's right.
Before
You mean,
they do.
First they
Yeah.
got to get
Warm
down
up,
there.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
That's right.
You absolutely don't even think about it.
Right.
Don't even go there.
Well, wait a minute. Unless you're with a hooker, and in which case you're on the clock, you paid for it. Let's not go down on it.
Right. Well,
Right, that was your first piece
then
of
again, if you're with a hooker, you never know what you're going to find under the skirt.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's right. So first oral, then the intercourse. But
Right.
here's what I'm saying, and you agree or disagree with me. I contend that most women would rather have a guy who was a little smaller in the penis, but gave great oral and a good massage after the sex. They'd go for that, getting their feet rubbed and their necks worked over and everything, right?
Yeah. There are so many. I mean, gosh. Sex is so colorful nowadays. You have so many choices.
I'm
It really
just
doesn't
saying.
matter about the size.
These guys
of the
spend so
penis.
much time focusing on the size of their penis, and they should really focus on compensating for their small penis with other techniques.
Or, you know what, even if you have a huge penis, sometimes it's just not... everybody's different. Everybody's different. It's how you work
The
it.
size thing, though, for these guys becomes such a symbol of their worth.
It's silly.
Good. There you go.
How big is who?
Danielle?
Hello. How are you?
Good. What's happening?
Hi, Monique. I love you so much. I'm so happy I'm talking to you.
Yay!
I was wondering, how was the European tour?
That was really, really fun and scary and sad at the same time.
Why?
Because we were stuck overseas when everything was happening here in New York.
Oh, really?
So we
Where
lost
were
our
you?
flight. We were in England. We were in a smaller city in England, and then we went back to London and we stayed there for an extra week because we lost our flight. But we had a great time. It was tough, but it was great because we self-financed our tour. It was wonderful. Almost every show was sold out, and I mean, it was incredible. Seriously, like the most amazing crowd response I've seen in a long time for us.
In Europe or in England specifically, or
All
of
over
Europe? Really?
We went to England, Wales, Austria,
Hey, you're
Belgium.
supposed to mention movies.
Yeah, we're supposed to talk about aside from the European subject,
The songs we just heard.
yeah, we're putting songs in movies as well now. So what are they called?
Oh,
There's a
Come
Cameron
Eileen is in that.
Not Another Teen movie
Yeah.
coming out in March, and there's a song going into a Cameron Diaz movie coming out in March, I think.
Which we'll hear some of.
This is that one. I want to hear it.
No, not that one. That's Gina.
Well, that's what they said. Well,
All right. Hey, Danielle.
Uh-huh.
Thanks, baby.
I have one more question. Is there a good rock hard tattoo?
What's she asking? What are you asking about the rock hard tattoo?
Uh-huh.
What about it?
Is there a good one?
Is there a good rock hard tattoo?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
I don't know. That's what they told me to ask.
Who told you to ask?
The guy who answered the phone.
How'd you know about that?
Oh,
he knows everything.
he knows everything.
Now you can tell us.
Yes.
Well, we played Reading and Leeds in Europe, and we were over there with like Real Big Fish, and the bass player Matt Wong is actually this amazing artist, and our new trumpet player fell asleep And while he was asleep, Matt drew a huge penis on his back, like hairy, just very graphic, and wrote rock hard in Old English.
Did he fall asleep, or was he rendered unconscious from
I don't. It was hot.
This
Maybe
was not
he
a
was.
tattoo. It was just a painting, like a pen.
Yeah, it
Right.
looked like a tattoo. It was
Yeah.
fun.
But, you know, I've done this to many a guy who's passed out, too, because of too much booze. Probably not with the artistry, but still the thought was there. If you get that indelible ink and you draw a good penis on a guy's belly in black ink or on his back, especially on his back, he can't really get to it. It's hard to get a loofah back there, you know what I'm saying?
He may go weeks without knowing it was there.
That's another good point.
He had it. It's stuck for quite a while. It was beautiful. We have pictures of it.
Yeah.
Matt's an amazing artist. Let me just say.
He sounds gifted.
He's very well acquainted with the male member.
How fitting that you guys were in Europe, the home to so many great artists over the years.
We almost got in trouble, though, because the paramedics assumed that he was drunk and thought we were just taking advantage of him. So
No, they thought he died. They came over, he was just laying there, so...
Why did
There's
the paramedics show up?
there was somebody called him.
Somebody tried to drag him out across the stage to show everyone.
Oh, I see.
Said, hey, how'd you like to get a girlfriend tonight? Show him your tattoo.
Well, he must have been a little drunk, right? Yeah, maybe a tad. But listen, I've done many horrible things to many a friend who's passed out because of booze, and most guys have a story or two like this, just like this story. And you brought up the paramedics, and it made me think of something, which is, it must have happened hundreds of times historically where something horrible was done to a corpse. Where the guy died of alcohol poisoning, and you thought it was Stu who just passed out because he tilted too many, and you were loaded too, so you decided to shave his pubes or something, and then it turned out he was dead.
Oh, it's terrible.
I mean,
so
that had to have happened at least 100 times in the last 10 years.
I'm sure
Am I right?
A few manslaughter allegations were levied at people.
I mean, guys die because they drink too much all the time, right?
Yep.
And if all the guys who are around him are drunk and he's the first to go down, they're going to screw with the guy. Nice. All right, let's all just think about that. All right.
Hey, Brian, if I die, please don't screw with me.
I'll do it. I'll put you right in the jacuzzi. Save Ferris is here. We're going to take a little break. We'll be back with you and us and them after that. Everybody, it's Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew over there. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Monique and Brian are both here from Save Ferris. New album should be out fairly soon, couple of few months. They're going to be at Slim's in San Francisco, if you're listening from that part of the world, on October 25th. And then House of Blues out here in Anaheim on November 17th.
Look what Monique's got her hands on.
I have the anatomy book open to the page with the vagina.
It is very grotesque, that book, to find out what really goes on inside of people.
Wow.
Not just people. You seem unconcerned about the man.
Nah, I'm not a big fan of that either. Hey, Drew, you got a call worked out here? Yeah.
Yeah?
Let's talk to this guy who drinks Ipecac.
All right.
Okay, that's actually a girl, I hope. Renee?
Yeah.
You're 32?
Yes?
What's up?
I had a question for Dr. Drew about Epicap. I'm not sure if I pronounced it correctly.
The stuff that makes you throw up?
Yeah. I just want to know if there's any danger if you use it like more than once a month, like maybe every other week or something.
Well, it suggests you have a eating disorder. That's for starters.
Well, the throwing up is more dangerous than the Ipecac.
Actually, Ipecac can cause some heart problems if you use a whole lot of it. But no, occasionally it's no big deal. But
wait a minute. Where do you get that stuff? That's over the counter, right?
It's a rare complication, but, you know.
But I mean, you just go in and buy that stuff, right?
Yeah.
You just take a tablespoon, and it's so vile that you vomit?
It hits the chemoreceptor triggers on the brain. It makes you vomit.
But vomiting isn't good for you.
But it smells like hell, too. I mean, isn't it bad? It's not good smelling or tasting, is it?
It's not bad.
Not to me, anyway.
So you swallow it,
and then it activates something in the brain that makes you vomit.
You drink a large glass
like 10 minutes later.
But vomiting a lot isn't good for you.
Hey, listen, she's bulimic. She's vomiting every other week.
It's not good for you. If you vomit a lot, you're frying up your esophagus, your vocal cords.
Well, I just use it once a month.
Why?
I overeat at times, and it gets...
Well, don't overeat.
That's hard not to do when you're stressed.
All right, so this is
Start exercising if you're stressed instead.
This is an eating disorder. Now, whether or not it really meets criteria
It's like a hobby.
I'm not overweight or anything.
whether or not it meets a specific criteria as a diagnosis for an eating disorder, whether it's a symptom of something else, it's a serious symptom. And are you on medication otherwise?
No.
Are you supposed to be?
No.
You sound depressed or confused or something, Renee.
I'm sorry?
You sound depressed. Are you depressed?
No.
Is everything going?
No, it's just every once in a while I'll get stressed to where I overeat, and I hate that feeling that I have in my stomach with all that junk. And I just got to get it out. That's only like once every other month or...
Yeah. How's life going?
Well, the bulimia is binging and purging. You don't have to do it every day, but if they binge and then purge, that is bulimia.
All right, but if it's truly every other month, as she describes, it's probably not a problem, but I'm sure it's not.
A problem.
No, because she's using food as a way to cure her stress.
Hold on a second.
That's not healthy, Renee.
Drew, as a doctor, you're trained not to believe people. You know what I mean? We've talked about this, like with smoking. Like you go in and tell your doctor, look, I smoke 1 cigarette a month. That's too much. You got to quit. Now, it's not too much. He's saying it 'cause he doesn't believe you.
Right.
He thinks you're smoking more than that, and he's probably right.
Right.
And that's why, as a doctor, when a guy says, I smoke 1 cigarette a year, you go, that's too much. You got to quit. And this is the same thing. If she truly did this every other month...
Every other month?
Well, that was her second assertion, that she did it. Even if she did it once a month, you'd probably... If it was every 30 days she did this and no more,
the behavior,
it probably would not be that big a deal.
No, the behavior's not a big deal, but it suggests something seriously psychologically going on.
I agree, but I think we also...
It could get worse.
We're also...
It does get worse.
We're also assuming, just like when people say they smoke pot twice a week, that's 5 times a week.
Right.
Right.
So, Renee, you probably do it a little more than once a month. Wouldn't you say?
No, I don't. But I was calling to find out because I would like to do it more than once.
All right.
May I ask her a question?
And I just wanted to know if Apicap would cause any harm.
Yeah, this is an eating disorder, and bulimia has a 20% fatality rate. So.
What's up with the rest of your life? Seriously, do you have a job?
Yeah, it's just very stressful.
I know. Stop getting back to the eating, please. I'm trying to figure out the rest of your life. All right.
Okay.
All right. You have a boyfriend or a husband?
No.
And what's up with that?
Why is that funny?
Yeah, why is it funny?
Well, you just make it sound like that is the reason why.
So stop.
Hey, Renee, you've just said you manage...
Oh,
hey, cut it. Hey, listen. You just said you deal with stress, feelings, by overeating, binging, and purging. That is a very serious symptom. Okay. So we're trying to figure out why you can't manage stress like any other 32-year-old adult. What's going on in your life that these profound symptoms are developing?
Thank you, Drew.
How do normal adults handle stress?
Well, they don't vomit. And they might hit a heavy bag or jog or eat
or change
and not
jobs,
vomit.
Or spend time with friends, connecting with people, leisure time. There's lots of things
I do exercise a lot.
But even
that's
overeating
part of bulimia, too.
Even overeating as a result of stress is a problem. That's a problem, Renee.
What about a man?
What about him?
Well, you want a relationship?
No.
Okay.
That's not important to her. How about the next time you start feeling stressed, why don't you encourage yourself to write 5 pages of how you feel?
Well, that's helpful, but one of the things that people really need in order to manage feelings is interpersonal contact, connectedness. Well, she sounds completely isolated. In that whole discussion we had, she did not mention family, relationships, and she's focused on her vomiting, her eating, and her exercise.
Well, here's the thing, too, everybody. We don't focus on the information so much on the show as we focus on the vibe. She's saying she vomits once a month. That's no big deal. But her vibe is so profoundly screwed up. She sounds so withdrawn and so screwed up and depressed, too. And each time I try to pursue something with her, I just get cut off. So screw you, go vomit. The Epicat's fine.
Well, that denial is all again. Denial.
I don't care.
That's part of the bulimia.
Right, but you sound really depressed, and people, I'll go ahead and say this. we don't know you, so it's easier for us to hear a problem. The people that know you are used to you. It's that Renee we work with. It's that Renee, our friend or our family member. But we never have spoken to Renee in our life, and the hair on the back of our neck stands up when she starts talking. And she sounds like someone who's really hurting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our impression of you, Renee. So get some help, please. Jordan?
Yeah.
You're 13?
Yeah, my dad, whenever I'm away, he gets on the internet and starts looking at porn.
Yeah.
And,
suddenly I flashed on a nightmare that, because Jordan, hang on a second, Jordan. Jordan's named one of my sons. I thought, geez, if I'm still doing this show and these kids are 13, what are they going to call and say about me?
Oh, it's going to be a disaster. They'll sue you. Yeah, so your dad looks at porn.
Yeah, and, well, he does it when I'm away, but not when my 7 younger brothers and sisters are.
7
younger brothers and sisters?
So, yeah.
Sneezy and Dopey and Doc and Grumpy and Happy and Jackie and Smacky.
Is there something wrong with me if I'm getting turned on by looking at the inner lymphatic system?
Yes. So, Jordan?
Yeah.
And
I don't know how it's going to affect him.
Jordan, you really have a question?
Affect the kids.
No, you're kind of
being. Sisters.
Well, he doesn't beat off in front of them, does he?
No, but
he just sits in his room and looks at porn.
No, it's like in the living room where all the kids are.
Ooh.
And
what do you mean it's in the living room? That's when he looks at it?
Yeah, and when I'm away, and so
why when you're
if you're away, how do you know he's doing that?
So I don't tell my mom or something.
If you're away, how do you know he's doing it?
Well, I go away, and I came back earlier than I told him I was going to be back, and I saw through the window that he was looking at porn. So.
Oh, please. No, Jordan, come on.
All right, Jordan. You're so full of crap. Please. How dare you call this show with that bogus kind of BS?
Saw through the window.
The show had more holes in it than my high school underpants. That was a horrible story. There's guys who sound like they're lying from what they're saying, and then there's guys who sound like they're lying from their cadence. You know, they're like, came,
officer, I was,
that's a hooker's body, yes, but, she's holding down the kilo of coke that, hold on. Let me go to my house and get my license. All right, we'll take ourselves a little break. Save Ferris here, and we'll be back. Hey, y'all. I'm Adam Carolla. That's Dr. Drew. Over there it is Loveline. Brian and Monique are both here from Save Ferris. They're going to be over at Slim's in San Francisco on October 25th and at the House of Blues in Anaheim, November 17th. Got some music coming out and some movies that are coming up, and we'll have, theoretically, a new CD out sometime in February, or so they think. That sounds about right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right.
Sounds about right.
I think we're going to sample some new stuff from Save Ferris. Take a call.
Okay.
Then we'll.
This is the one we're gonna. It's going to be on a film. This one we're going to hear.
In
a little while.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Let's go to a call.
All right. It's good radio, Drew. Rebecca.
Hi.
Hey, you're 14.
Hi. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm talking to Save Ferris. This is really cool. Like, I've never gotten through a radio station before, and now I'm talking to Save Ferris.
All right, let's put her on. Look, she had a streak going. YF with the streak. No. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, I just want to know how I could get tickets to any of those concerts, because I would die to go.
Well,
where do you live? What city?
Bellflower.
Bellflower.
So you want to go to Anaheim?
Yeah.
It's all ages.
Is it sold out yet?
November 17th.
Yeah.
It's not sold out
Let's
yet.
call House of Blues. Get tickets.
Okay. I also wanted to ask, your guys' music is, it's just the best. It's like the best pick-me-up music like I've ever heard. I can put on your CDs and I'm just, And I want to know how you guys get such awesome lyrics, because, like, I tried to write some music a while ago, and I kind of suck at it, so my lyrics are all cheesy. How do you guys get such awesome lyrics?
Just keep doing it over and over.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the best way. It's just like writing anything. You just have to keep, you come up with the original idea and you just sort of keep rewriting till you get something that you don't think is cheesy.
Yeah. Just write every day.
Yeah.
And, Rebecca, you're 14, right?
Yeah.
You'll get better.
Okay.
You just keep going.
Plateau around 15 and a half.
I mean, you're not going to be that good, but you will improve.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
Okay.
All right, baby.
Adorable.
Take care of yourself.
Bye.
All right.
So cute.
All right, so what we're going to do now is I think we're going to hear something new from Save Ferris, and we're not going to play the entire and complete song for reasons that it's not coming out for a few months, and we don't want people copying it or downloading it or recording it or bootlegging it. But I think we're going to hear half of it or a quarter of it, or what is our plan?
A sample of it.
We'll hear
Just
a sample.
enough to wet the palate.
All right, we'll hear about a minute of it, and this is Look at You Now.
Ow!
I smell a hit.
Ow!
That sounded great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I've been practicing my ow.
The song took no getting used to. It was right there.
Right.
Do you like
that's
it?
good. Yeah, it really did.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a song that it's going to be in that Cameron Diaz movie, and we like Cameron Diaz, so that's going to be really fun.
Yeah, she's got it. I'll tell you that. Right
You
now.
know what? You should have her on a trampoline on your show.
All right. Consider it done.
Ow!
We'll get hold of her publicist tomorrow. I'm sure they've been banging at our door
She
trying to
can't
get
wait to get. I heard her on a talk show once.
Big fan.
Well, her dream was to get up on that trampoline.
For real.
I'm sure. Absolutely.
See, because nobody wants it more than me.
Hey, you can get on that trampoline.
That would be fun.
It's quite an event. We do it down at Elysian Park.
We'd make you wear
I don't know if I'd be able to come back up,
wear like
though.
one of those plaid pleated skirts that they wear in the religious schools. Yeah.
Yeah. Nissan.
Can I wear biker shorts underneath? Can I wear black spandex?
You could if they were beige and we stuck pubic hair on the front of them.
Ooh, you know what, though? I've watched that show closely, and I've seen none of that.
You've not seen any pubes?
No pubes.
Because I shave every girl personally before she gets up on the train.
Oh,
Yeah.
do ya?
It's part of the policy.
Yeah, right.
They line
Yeah,
up. They line up and I shear them like sheep.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah,
Good
we
time.
believe you.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Move right along.
Yeah, you ever see those competitions, the sheep shearing competitions?
Yeah.
Well, you know you're from a bad country when that's like a major event. Gosh. Well, how does this sport work? Well, he shaves a sheep and we hang out. And what we'll do is time him. And then, if there's some hair left around, let's say where the leg attaches to the body, we'll deduct some points. Yeah, it's pretty big. This guy's good, though. He's got the record. Sarah?
Yes.
You're 19?
Yes.
What's up?
Well, me and my boyfriend broke up almost 2 weeks ago because he's going into the Army. And I lost my virginity to him about a month ago. And
Get on your knees, scumbag!
Did you know that he was going to go in the Army at that point?
no,
Okay.
he decided to go into the Army.
After he got a little sampling of you?
What?
No, go ahead.
So what's your question?
No, I don't know if I'm holding on to him just because I lost my virginity to him. Like,
Well, you really like him, right?
yeah.
Okay, well, that's one reason. Secondly, he sounds like he's left kind of suddenly. Thirdly, there always is that special bond of when you do have sex with someone, and it seems extra intense when it's the first time.
Yeah, and when we broke up, it was kind of a mutual thing. But he said he still wants to stay friends with me and all that, but I feel like he's making no effort to me. Is that just because guys don't know how to show their emotions?
Well, this guy doesn't really sound like he was your boyfriend.
No, he was my boyfriend.
How long was he your boyfriend for?
About 3 months.
Yeah, it's not very long. And then suddenly he decided to join the Army?
Well, he was struggling because he was unemployed for a little while. Let
me get again. Suddenly he decided to join the Army?
Yeah.
And without consideration for your relationship?
Yeah.
Well, maybe he didn't think he was really in a relationship. Or at least maybe that says something about the
by the way,
priority of that relationship in his life.
When is he shipping out?
The end of this month.
And why aren't you together until the end of the month? And why can't you remain together?
Because we decided it's not going to be fair on either of us because he's going to be gone.
We decided?
No, he decided it's not going to be fair because he wants to bang a lot of underage Taiwanese girls.
He did say, like, you know, he's going to be gone and for, like, 2 years at the minimum. And seriously, I don't think I'd be faithful to him if he's, like, he might not even be in the same country.
Yeah, no, that's realistic.
It's fair enough.
But what we're saying is this guy may have had this plan already, and he really didn't put a lot of priority in this relationship.
And you know what? After he did say that he was going to join the Army, he did mention that he did want to join the Army earlier.
Yeah, it's just Sarah.
Well, he didn't join because of a girl, and I don't want to be that girl who held him back from, like...
All right.
Yeah, he's a man. He's a man with conviction.
All right, here's the deal. It's going to hurt. That's it. It's not going to feel good. And let it go. Just get through it. Let it go. And the sooner you start that clock ticking of mourning the loss of this relationship, the quicker you'll be back with someone else, feeling okay.
You know what I love about this show? When people call and they try to convince us it was a mutual decision to break up, how hard we lobby for, no, you were dumped, sweetie. You were dumped.
You know, it's much worse. It's like, who do you think you're talking to here?
Hey, didn't know he was going to join there? He used you like an old Kleenex. You were one of many for him, sweet pea. He's shipping out. He's probably on top of someone right now.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Maybe your best friend or your sister, possibly your mom. Oh, no, you were dumb. You won't be over this for a long time. Yeah, that's going to scar. That's the kind of thing that stays with you. Maybe 10 years of therapy. I mean, intensive psychotherapy. Possibly, but you'll never be right. You're like a car that's been rolled. Yeah, put a fresh coat of paint on it, but it's always going to pull a little bit to the left. You know what I'm saying? You'll never be right, baby. Enjoy life. I know. Why can't we just?
Bitter.
I know. Why can't we just go along with? Yeah, okay. So it was a mutual decision, and now you're both moving on.
I think it was a smart decision.
I agree. We agree. But,
I agree.
But she wasn't really.
We felt like she was making it
and
hers.
And you know what? Yeah. You're always gonna like your first.
Yeah.
You're always gonna be.
Oh yeah. We were just trying to get her connected more with reality.
Yeah.
The reason we think that way is we're never wrong.
That's
so
true.
If we were wrong sometimes, then we wouldn't have such conviction.
Right. It's hard to question yourself when you're always right. I mean, why bother? You know what I'm saying? It's so futile. It's such a waste of time.
Have you heard the military now is having to protect? I was thinking about this military thing, and they have to, like, these guys have to protect their. They have to be anonymous. They can't tell people they're in the Army. And I thought about the drill sergeants we had in here.
Because of possible reprisals against their family.
Right. They could be terrorist targets over here. I thought, how would guys like those boot camp sergeants hide the fact that they're in the military? You know what I mean?
You got another question, weirdo?
Bring it up.
Hurry up. Hurry up. Bring it up. Right now. Push him down the thing.
How would they?
That wasn't even on the show. I was constipated. I was trying to go down. I was on the toilet. We're running late for break. Drew sent the guys in to help me move it along a little bit. Motivate. Hurrah! Yeah. All right. Number 5. Oh, I don't know.
You are making a killing tonight, Adam.
Do that again.
Number 5.
Motivate. I mean, how could those guys hide their heritage?
No, and I think they're mainly talking about guys a little bit higher up on the ladder than DI, though. You know what I'm saying?
Well.
All right, let's hop back to the phone and speak to Steven, who's 14. Steven?
Hey.
What's up?
I'm currently in a relationship, and I think that I heard today from my best friend that there's been a rumor going around at the school that they go to. It's a long-distance relationship that she might dump me.
You got another question, weirdo?
And your friend, does he go to the school that they go to?
Yeah.
And you're the one who moved away?
Yeah.
How far away?
30 miles.
How long have you been gone for?
How long have I been moved away for?
Yeah.
Probably like a little more than a year.
And you've been maintaining this relationship all that time?
Yeah.
Has it been going okay?
Yeah, up till now. And then I called my friend tonight, and he said that he heard a rumor that she might dump me, and he asked her.
Look, at 14, a year in a relationship is like an eternity. Those relationships tend to kind of turn over about a year or so at your age. Whether or not you add something like distance or another stress to it, It's hard for relationships to make it through that.
How often do you see her?
Usually I see her probably like almost every weekend.
Uh-huh. And have you noticed anything from her?
Not in the past, but lately, yeah, I have.
Yeah. That's what we're talking about. So maybe that's the direction she's going.
Yeah, and that's you got to expect that in relationships at your age. It just see where it goes.
Yeah.
Ask her about it, or
she might get into denial. I'll tell you what, Stephen.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. If she wants to break up, she will let you know through her actions. She will probably not want to confront you, but it'll be something like, you'll call her tomorrow and say, so I'm coming out there this weekend, and she'll go, oh, this weekend's bad because we got a school trip going on or some nonsense like that. Magically, 3 weekends will go by, and for one good excuse or another, you'll not be over there. And then you got to listen to that. Listen to the actions, everybody, because people do it all the time. Like if you call her up and go, I heard a rumor you weren't in love with me. Oh, no, that's not true. I still love you. You love me? Yeah, because I heard from Kurt. No, that's
you're
what
totally
you're going to get.
On.
But listen to the actions.
I've done it a million times.
A million times?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 1.5. Are you going to see her this weekend?
No, actually I'm going to visit my grandparents in Northeast Oregon this weekend.
Sure you are.
Yeah.
And do you think... See, you can't test it then because you're the one who's going out of town.
Yeah.
Is she weird with you on the phone?
What?
Is she getting a little weird with you on the phone?
Yeah, actually I called her last night, or I tried to, and I couldn't get a hold of her, and I've been trying since 5:30, and I couldn't get a hold of her.
Is that unusual?
And, yeah, kind of.
Yeah. All right. Listen, Stephen...
Yeah.
You can feel it out over the next couple weeks. Just promise me that, if it's over, it's over.
Let it go.
You're 14.
A lot of good years ahead.
You got at least 3 years, 3 good years ahead of you. Do you guys know that feeling? And it was sort of creeping on a little when he said he called her and he couldn't find her and she couldn't call him.
Call.
Yeah, but do you guys know that? Remember that feeling? And we've all been through it a few dozen times, where you think it's going pretty good with somebody, or you're still really into somebody, and you think they're pretty much into you. And there's that thing, like you call them, and they used to call back because they would check their messages and whatnot, and they would call back like at least, not more than 2 hours would go by. They'd call from work or whatever. And this time you called, and you didn't hear back from them that night. And you talk to them the next day,
like a spear in the stomach.
And they're like, I'm sorry, babe, I was at work. I was working real hard. I got really distracted.
They get even lamer. So some truly lame excuse comes through right then.
Yeah, but it's usually not a big one at that point.
But it's lame. It's like...
No, but they called from work every other night, but this time they didn't. And it was like, yeah, we had a meeting, we got kind of distracted, rehearsal went late.
There you go.
And you're thinking, okay, don't panic, don't get weird, but you're getting that little creeping feeling, like, all right, we'll see.
And that feeling is approaching desperation. It's like moving into desperation.
Right. And then the date comes, and then you go out on Friday, and it's like the movie's over, the dinner's over, and you go, yeah, you want to go back to my place? And I go, I got to get up early tomorrow, and now that feeling's starting to creep. So you don't want to, you want to sleep over, and we'll just get you up early? I got to leave really early, so I think I should just spend the night at my place, and all of a sudden it's like,
yeah.
And then it's like, could I get a blowjob then? you know. I had some dental work done earlier.
Dental work.
I had a root canal.
I have a sore throat.
Got to put the headgear on.
Yeah, and now you're starting to slide into desperate a little. Now you're like, well, why don't I sleep over at your place then? If you got to get up, well, I don't know, but I don't want to hassle you. You got to get up so early.
Then you want to lock in next weekend.
Yeah, now you got to lock it in. All right, so
on Friday I'll see you for the movie, and then we'll get.
Oh no, next week is too far because it's Friday now. Oh, well, how about Tuesday then? Yeah. Well, and then, listen, here's where it really starts sinking. next week's
We'll
pretty hectic, but I think we might be able to do it.
Yeah,
Call me Monday, and call me Monday night, and we'll see what we can see about. And you're going, no, because you know when you call Monday night, it ain't going down. But and then you say that. Here's what you say to yourself. Okay, that's cool. I'll call Monday night, and I ain't gonna press. I'll just call Monday night, and I'll say, remember we talked about maybe getting together Tuesday, and if she wants to get together, great. But if not, fine. Yeah. And then you call Monday night, and it's like, you hear it in the voice, and then you start to panic, and now you're screwed.
That's when you ask if it's over.
No.
Yeah, Monday night?
No, you don't. Guys don't. They got a pound for another week or two.
No, here's the guy move. You play cool. Yeah, Monday night. Yeah, what about Tuesday? Tuesday. You can hear it. You don't even need to hear the answer. It's that little air that comes out before the no. Sometimes it's sucking in. Other times it's out. Which, it's bad. Like, how about Tuesday? You're like, oh, no, you should just hang up. When you hear, it's never like, yeah. So it's like,
You know what that is?
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I am so sorry. You seem like a nice guy, nappy head.
But you're just not getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bucktooth Brillo head. You sound like a nice guy.
It's more like big, bald, bucktooth Brillo head.
Big, bald, bucktooth Brillo head.
Be bald now, too?
No, how dare you. How dare you. But listen, here's...
No, big balls.
Oh, big balls.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Big balls, bucktooth Brillo. BB&B. But then here's what you do then. As a guy, no, it's not over yet. Because as a guy, you do this. You get cool. You go, yeah, okay. Well, wait, whenever then, all right? I'm cool. Maybe next weekend, maybe whenever. And you hang up the phone and you go, I'll ice her down just a little bit, and she'll crack.
What's Ray doing? What's Chris doing?
Yeah, I'll call my buddies. I'm not going to call her. I won't call. And I won't call her tomorrow because she's expecting me to call her. I'm not going to call tomorrow. She thinks I'm going to call tomorrow and see what's going on Friday. Now that we're not going to, but you know what? I ain't going to call. She's going to call me. And then you don't call. But then Wednesday you get drunk. And you're like, listen, bitch, I got to know.
You are so good.
You're playing me, bitch. What's going on?
Machine at like 2 in the morning.
Seriously, Friday. And then it slides into this. Look, I need to see you Friday. I just need to talk to you. I need to talk to you Friday.
We need to talk. We need to get together. We need to talk.
We'll talk over the phone. No, I need to see you in person on Friday. I can't because I got my grandmother's Friday. I'm coming over.
I need my baseball mitt.
Oh, Drew, don't get personal. Don't get personal with the baseball mitt. Bitch wasn't even there. Sister had to let me in. What are you here for? Stephanie's not. I need my mitt.
Lorenzen gets the mitt. Found it under the bed?
No, I found the mitt in the closet, but I thought my softball was under the bed.
But what did you find instead?
Spent condom.
Oh, ouch.
And it didn't even smell like me. Oh. And it tasted less.
But that's the ultimate. That's when that feeling becomes.
Cry, beat off, both.
Right there.
Spontaneous jack and cry.
Spontaneous jack.
River of tears and semen coming under the door. All right.
That's some funny stuff.
We'll take ourselves a little break. Save Ferris here, and we'll be back. Hey, everybody. This is my theme song, right? I've decided I needed a theme song to be playing when I, entered restaurants and bars and just got the mail and stuff, Let people know I was coming.
Kind of like Rocky's theme song.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. This is a new one, yeah. This is the one I've decided on. Actually, here's what it's like. The first song is what's playing in my head as I enter the bar.
And this is what everybody sees.
Second song, this is what's going on in my head as I swing into the bar and I'm checking out the scene, doing that finger point thing, making eyes with the hot-looking bartender and ordering a beer.
And here's what everyone hears.
And here's what everyone else hears as I enter the bar. Don't we all go through life that way to a certain extent?
I hear this in my head, and this is what other people see.
Right. right. Yes.
That's what's different about me.
That's right. But when you see the guy with the mullet and the bad wraparound Oakley shades, you know, the blades on and the members-only jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that that the song that's going on in his head when you're looking at this guy thinking about Peak Patrol?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think this is Drew's right here.
I wish.
What would mine be?
If either people could see it or I could hear it, either would be fine with me.
Well, your song would be one of your songs, wouldn't it?
Your song would be.
Oh, no.
It wouldn't?
No.
Like this?
This would be you? Yeah.
Who is this?
Could be you.
Motorhead or something?
Starts to cuss right there.
Who is it?
Slayer?
That was Snot.
Snot. Oh.
You like Snot? What happened to Snot? Somebody die in Snot?
Who?
Oh, what happened?
A couple years ago.
Car
accident.
Oh, I remember
we did hear about that. Yeah.
Yeah, weren't the guys from Sugar Ray or something talking about that? Or I sort of remember something like that. All right, let's... Why'd you have to bring us down with the snot and the death and everything?
Okay, come on. My thing would be a Skinner song.
What's that?
Oh.
Marla?
Hi.
Hey, you're 22.
Hi.
What's up?
Okay, well, I have a little bit of a problem.
All right.
Okay, I need all your guys' minds here. Tell me what you guys think I should do. Okay, I just had, like, my first, I just broke up with my first boyfriend. We had, sex and stuff. And, he videotaped on 2 occasions that I know of.
This was obviously his first girlfriend, too.
No.
Oh, shocked.
No.
I'm shocked.
Well, why? Why are you shocked?
He videotaped the whole thing.
Well, I know, but I'm pretty kinky, so I'm okay with that. And so...
Hold on. Did you say you lost your virginity to him, though?
Yeah, I did.
How do you know you're kinky if...
Because I don't know, because there's a lot of things that I'm sure that I was willing to try. That sounds fun, you know.
All right.
Okay, so one time I was walking into the kitchen. He was cooking us breakfast after I was spending the night, and he was watching a tape of us, and it was a tape that, like, I had no idea that he videotaped. It was like one that we had one time where we had sex in the morning. And
where was the vantage point of the video camera? Where do you think he hid it?
Well, he didn't hide it. Like, he said that he just wanted to watch it on the big screen, like on the TV set, and hook it up so he can watch it, but there wasn't an actual tape in there.
What does this guy do for a living?
Right now he doesn't work because he has money invested in the stock market, and I know that's true because his dad passed away, and he got money from a lawsuit, and he has money in the stock market.
I get total sociopath from this guy.
Do you think so?
Yeah, this guy. Yeah, I just get a bad guy.
He really hurt me bad.
Why are you attracted to guys like that?
You know, I don't know. I don't know that I was attracted to. I don't know if it's anything wrong with me. I think that, like, I don't know.
What money does this guy make on a lawsuit?
His dad, like, was injured in a home, and he showed me a bank statement that he had, like, about $31,000 in the bank. So, I mean, it's, like, not a lot of money, but he was telling me that, like, he told me that he wanted to marry me and crazy cred like that.
Why are you attracted to bad guys?
Where's your dad?
My dad's a preacher.
Ooh, that's always bad.
No wonder she's kinky.
My dad's a really good guy.
Is this sort of some sort of compensation, some acting out, some defiance, some
maybe a little bit.
Maybe you just needed to learn your lesson about this.
Not to the point where it's going to hurt me, you know?
Well, you are hurt right now.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, well, you hurt yourself. Maybe you got to learn something from this.
Well, what do you want to know? You want to try to get the videotape back?
Okay, I want to ask him for the tapes back, but there's no way for sure that I'm going to know that he's handing over everything.
Now, and
that's
look,
so sad.
Look, here's the deal, Marla. I hate to kick you while you're down, but this guy's like a world-class a-hole, and I know guys like this. And by the way, I don't know, from time to time I think about these guys maybe you grew up with, guys whose paths have crossed your life and stuff like that. you guys who are listening, kill yourselves, please. Please kill yourselves. You're so flawed. And I know.
I care for him, though.
No, I like him to kill himself.
You're careful what you thought he was.
I'm talking to my friends right now. I'm saying kill yourselves. I know you've done no harm to anybody, really. I mean, you haven't run over anyone in your car or anything, but you're so flawed. There's people that are just flawed, you know? And this guy's never going to hand over the tapes. This guy's going to make a copy and hand over the copy.
Whatever, yeah.
Right, because he has no soul, and you don't exist to him.
Right.
Because other humans don't exist to him.
Except to serve his needs.
That's right.
And really, in this case, service his needs.
Right.
Well, what if she's sneaky about it? What if she just comes over unannounced one day and waits till he goes to the bathroom? That's what I would do.
Yes.
I would do the full, like,
but I can't get in trouble by the authorities.
Listen.
What did she say?
Listen, here's
this guy's going to call the cops.
Yeah, he's going to call the cops. Here's the trouble. He filmed you without your knowledge, okay? Can't do that.
But if he lets her in, she'll knock on the door and he'll let her in. Come on in, have a cup of coffee.
And you just run out with the tapes.
Yeah, wait till he goes to the bathroom.
Marla,
that's what I would do. Run into the closet, take him back.
Here's the bottom line. Listen to me, sweetie. If you call him and say, I need that tape and I'm coming over there to get it, he will make 5 dupes.
He will. No, go over unannounced.
Hey, you absolutely
What
have
if he's listening right now?
Well, then you're screwed.
Edward, I hate you.
Marla, here, first and foremost, count your blessings. Count your blessings. Just be thankful you've learned something. You're in one piece. You're getting out of there. Just be thankful for that.
Should I go to counseling to find out why I like him?
If you, not necessarily.
I didn't have sex with him until 5 months afterward.
No, you got to find out if you do this again. Then it's time to find out. A lot of women your age have to go through this one.
Okay, listen, you want those tapes? Do you know what this tape looks like? How many tapes does he have?
I don't know what the tapes look like.
He doesn't even know. One day she walks in.
Shut up,
They're
Drew.
like from the video camera, the little itty-bitty one.
Okay, hold on.
Wait,
hold on. Shut up.
Hey,
Jesus.
Dad.
It's the little tape, so you know it's on one of those micro tapes.
She doesn't know how many there are, though.
I know she does not, but
I'll
there's
see every single one of them.
That's right. But you don't know. Did you physically see this tape ever? Because he was watching it in the kitchen.
In the camera, and he would put the small tape into the large tape and then play it in the VCR.
Right. Okay, so you're going to need to just grab those tapes. Now, you'll probably see friends and family members getting effed, too, when you go when you go to look at this. Guy's probably got a whole collection.
And the pets, and for God's sake.
Pets getting it right. Now, look. This guy deserves nothing. You grab all those tapes and get the hell out of there.
Ruthless. I just go right in there.
Hey, listen, if you know some guy who plays some junior college football or something, bring some muscle over.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I got friends. I got friends who do that stuff. They do it with great pleasure. They'll just go over there. They'll walk right in. They'll get the guy in a headlock. You'll go into the room. You'll take a pillowcase.
You bring Ray with you.
You'll fill. Yes, you fill the pillowcase with whatever tapes he has, and you say to him, "Listen, calm down. You'll get everyone back except for the one with me on it. Now just sit down, shut the F up, and in a couple weeks you'll get them all back. And you leave, and that's it. And listen, let me tell you something. I know I got one friend who's into this. You know, he's got to take a picture of everyone's boobs and all that kind of stuff. What is it with these guys? You know what I mean?
Is he the same kind of guy as this?
No, he's probably not that bad, but they have that gene. They all have that little sociopath gene.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. So he's like this.
Right. Listen, you guys, kill yourselves, please. Please. I would rather have a guy, I really would rather hang out with a guy who got busted for murder if it was under the right circumstances. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather hang with a guy who said, what happened? This dude raped my kid's sister. I had a few Pabst Tall Boys, and one of them just put a hunting knife in his liver, man. I couldn't help it. I freaked out. I'd rather hang out with that dude than this dude who had a life where he never got no trouble with the law, just lawsuits and naked filming of people and just those creepy dudes. I'd like to say this. Look, any of you who have, let's say, more than 3 lawsuits in the last 10 years, kill yourselves. Kill yourself. Hey, you ballless fags, just kill yourselves, would you? Please take a look in the mirror and then kill yourself.
One more call here, quick. Come on.
I mean it.
Then we'll hear a song. I know you do. I know.
I mean, no, let me just say this real fast before we go to the phones. Here's the deal. And Drew and I were talking about this yesterday, I believe. How many, as it comes to this society, we're all talking about the airport, how much time it's going to take to get through the airport, and all the hassle and all this kind of stuff. How many people are we trying to catch? You know what I mean, who pass through the airport? 1 out of every 1,000 guys? No. 1 out of every 1,000,000? Probably less than that. We're all effed. We're all screwed because one guy out of every 5 million of us is going to do something weird on the airplane. And now we can all park our cars a mile away and take the shuttle in. We can all get frisked by some 500-pound black woman in her 50s. We can all go through the metal detector. We can all wait in line. I have to break the file off of my nail clippers and throw it away so that I can get on the plane. Why? Because of one guy. 1 guy out of 5 million guys. And what about all the lawsuits? And what about all the litigation? And what about all the warning labels and the aspirin that I can't get the top off of and the lighter that doesn't work because one idiot put 1 lawsuit in? And you know what? These guys, they have multiple lawsuits. And basically what I'm saying is this. There's 1 guy for every 5 million good people on this planet. There's 1 F-up who's screwing it for all of us. And please kill yourself. You people, kill yourself. Kill yourself now. Do it tonight. Now. Do it tonight. Do it. Please, I'll send $20 to your relatives if you just kill yourself now. You with the 13 lawsuits. You have sued 5 different casinos because you took a spill in the lobby. Kill yourself now, please. You're holding us up. Yay! Thank you. We never think about it that way, but it's not 10% of the population. Right. It's 1 effort.
I've never thought about it like that.
1 guy out of millions. All of us. Everyone you know. We all sit in line at the airport. True. We all just sit there for 1 guy. Yeah. 1 guy who's screwing all of us. And if that guy could just kill himself, what a great utopia we'd be living in right now.
Before you take this call about Monique's clothing line,
I'm
trying to get to over the last 10 minutes.
About that. Yeah.
Let's hear a song.
No, let's hear the song about the clothing line. Christy? Hi. What do you care, Drew?
We'll never get to that song. I know it.
What do you... Hold on a second. Let me say something about Drew that cracks me up. Drew is such a crazy taskmaster that he said to me tonight, like, hey, we got to play... There's a couple of Save Ferris songs, and we got to play a few pieces of them. Because somebody said to Drew before the show, here's what we're going to do. We're going to play Come On Eileen. We're going to play a couple of clips from a couple of other Save Ferris songs. And Drew, now it's his job. Now he's on this. And I'm like, yeah, all right, we'll play the songs.
You gotta love him.
I know, but he's such a pain in the ass. He's such a pain in the ass with that stuff.
Was that you that told him, Drew? I told you, Adam. I didn't tell Drew on purpose.
No, the Wrangler.
The record guy told, the record wrangler told Drew, we got to play a couple of songs, and now Drew's going insane because there's only 20
minutes. And Monique seemed very excited about it, too, and I wanted to make her
We'll play the song, but this is her clothing line here, too.
We're going to get to that, too, if you stop talking.
Don't make me get into the liners when you go nuts for those things.
Okay, when I'm jumping on the trampoline on your show, Adam, that's the song you have to play.
All right.
The Drunken Elephant song.
Christy?
Yes?
You got a question for Monique?
Oh, my God, am I always Save Ferris?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, here, let me take a breath. Oh, my God, I want to tell you guys, I'm a huge, huge fan, and I really love your guys' music. I've been a fan for a very long time, and I think you guys' stuff is great.
Thanks, Christy.
And I just saw you guys at the El Rey a couple weeks ago. You guys rocked.
Thank you.
Oh, you were awesome. And I love the new stuff. And I have a quick question.
Yeah.
How did you guys get, is it Grace from Fairview to join you guys on Gina? Huh?
Grace is a friend of ours.
Who's Grace from Fairview?
She's a young lady who plays keyboards in Fairview.
What about the clothing line?
Yeah, what about the clothing line?
Oh.
All right, do you have a clothing line?
I do, but I didn't think we'd make such a big deal about it.
Well, we weren't, but she was going to ask about it, but she didn't.
It's called M Squared, and we sell out of one store right now.
Where is it?
It's called Blessed, B-L-E-S-T, and it's on Cahuenga, just south of Hollywood Boulevard in Hollywood.
All right. So. And what kind of stuff do you have?
Mainly couture. It's mainly handmade. It's similar to a lot of stuff I wear on stage.
All right. So your fans and people are
Boys
fans
clothes,
of the band
girls
can
clothes.
go get it. All right.
Good stuff.
We'll take ourselves a little break. Drew, I promise we'll come back with a Save Ferris
Promise.
song.
Hey guys, this is Brooke Burke, and you're listening to Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew on Loveline.
Yes, he is. That's Brooke Burke from E.
Oh, right.
Wild on whatever, the Thongback show.
Yeah.
She's super hot, that Brooke Burke. But I think she kind of acts like she knows it.
Kinda?
Well, she very much acts like she knows it. Thank you. Drew didn't get a great vibe off Brooke Burke. All right, let's...
Bless you.
Get a fart, too, from an age just to really bring her to the man show vibe.
Please bring it on.
I swear if I had something, I would have let it fly. I don't have any.
Can I light it?
I know this.
You know he does that here?
Have you done that here?
You haven't done it in a while, though, because you don't wear the right pants.
I'm wearing like a lot of sweatpants.
We're going into winter now. You got to start wearing jeans again so we can really get some...
I do.
Jeans are hard, though, because you can't push the gas out of them as well.
One time it looked like the Afghan desert here. It was just
lit it up like a tomahawap missile.
It was like Disneyland at night.
Oh, yeah. No, one time...
Summer nights.
A mushroom cloud. Remember that one?
Yeah. Where it actually... The ones that are really good break off from the anus and have their own cloud of flame.
Yeah. I think I've seen them all with these guys.
People...
Big blue flames.
I am surprised that we speak to adults who have thought think of this as a wives' tale, like they have no idea, some sort of urban legend, this lighting of the gas. I am telling you... He's probably not. Listen, my buddy, the Wheeze, we used to live together, lit a cigarette off of my ass fart, off of my lighting, my ass.
But having now witnessed Adam's talent, he's not talking about holding the cigarette up to his ass. He's talking about the cigarette being, a good
in
6 inches away from the action.
Yeah, he was up. The flame came up and got the cigarette.
That's right.
That's incredible.
It's like a bullwhip reaching out to snap it out of her mouth. Let's hear the song, Gina, shall we?
Yeah. You know, it's funny. Sometimes I'm driving and I think, I wonder if anyone else throughout history has lit a cigarette off of a fart.
What do you mean, like Napoleon or?
I haven't done that.
I don't mean a great literary figure, or just
That's
a great
something
figure.
I haven't done.
That's what I'm thinking. And I'm thinking, so sometimes I go, no, I bet I'm the only guy. And then I think, nah, someone must have done that.
I did light a cigarette in Europe.
Off of what? Queef?
Drew, were you there? When Ed put a lighter in his foreskin?
Really? Mm-hmm. And he lit a cigarette off it? Mm-hmm. Well, in Europe, they're all uncircumcised. Yeah, sure. Who was this guy?
Good friend of the band.
A lighter in his foreskin.
He took the lighter and he slid it under his foreskin, so it was like hanging.
Inside.
It was like hanging off of his penis.
And then he lit it.
So he looked like a penis lighter.
He got dared to do it, yeah. And then I got dared to
light the cigarette.
No, I had to walk down the stairs of the haunted hotel naked at 4 o'clock in the morning and get beers out of the truck.
And you did it?
In the rain. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
It was funny.
You got balls, baby.
Yeah.
We got a minute to hear this song.
All right.
This is why I was freaking out.
For a moment, I epitomized the perfect woman. Naked with beer.
Yeah.
Booze.
And boobs.
Except for the stretch marks. I don't know, that kind of...
I like stretch marks.
Really?
It means there's big boobs or nearby.
Well, I'm definitely dressed in the spirit for Halloween.
Big boobs
got
are
the
coming.
Cobwebs.
All right, we're going to hear a sample of a new Save Ferris song. And is this from a movie, or is this going to be on the new CD? But
this is just a new song.
Yeah, Gina's going to be a new song.
All right, here we go.
CD.
Oh, come on, Ma. Can we hear a little more?
You like it, huh?
Yeah, I like them both.
Yeah,
They're both very catchy, very hooky, very nice. Yeah, just real clean and upbeat, and they really sound good. Really sounds good, and it's like a I was gonna say a real departure, but it's definitely a departure from the stuff we're used to hearing from you guys.
Yeah, we sort of were trying to use different instruments with the new stuff and get away from like doing the same thing over and over again. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just sounds great.
We wanted to recapture a little bit of the youth of the early days of Save Ferris too.
And listen, at the risk of being called a wuss, I like stuff like that. I mean, I don't know, all that sort of like Nervosa and Smashing Dumplings and whatever the kids are listening to these days.
You're gay.
No, I just mean all that sort of Limp Bizkit bang your head stuff. It's all right if you're pissed off and you're like wakeboarding at the same time or something. But just when I'm driving in my car and I'm not in a bad mood, I don't feel like I'm not angry anymore. That was like I'm happy now. I like to hear stuff that's like a little.
We have the anger songs too.
Oh, you do? Yeah,
we got something for every mood.
Something like this.
Yeah, like this is actually.
Some I can dance to.
Yeah.
What is this Cousin Oliver's theme from like the Brady Bunch?
Yeah,
Just cruising out.
This is one of those songs you just want to listen to when you wake up in the morning.
That's right.
It just gets you going, like a good cup of coffee.
I think Katrina and the Waves did this one.
Gilligan walking with the chimpanzee.
That's right. No, the guy in the gorilla suit. Yeah. Right. All right, we'll take ourselves a little break. We'll be back with more of my theme song, which I'm here is going to be sampled by Moby in that upcoming project after this. Angelica Bridges is going to be in here tomorrow night. She's been on this show, right, Drew? We know her somehow.
It sounds familiar.
She's got to be hot with that name.
And then Lit, and then Ozzy.
Bouncy. Ozzy Osbourne?
Mm.
Woohoo! Can I come in on the night you guys do, Travis?
Yeah.
On the
You
22nd?
can come every time you want.
Really?
I remember Ozzy Osbourne was in Black Sabbath many years ago, but has he done anything since he got out of Sabbath? I mean, geez, that must have been in the 70s.
Uh-huh.
Well, maybe they're on some sort of reunion tour or something.
We'll find out.
I'm curious to see what he looks like.
Uh-huh.
All right. Save Ferris, everybody. Thank you. The new stuff sounds great.
Yeah.
It really does. I can't wait for that new CD to come out, hopefully sometime in February, and when it does, then you come back, right?
Yeah.
All right. So until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
You're gone, so grown up, so gone, so grown up now. I must say more than ever.
Da-da-da-da.
This has been Loveline. The opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the staff, management, sponsors, or this station. The producer for Loveline is Ann Wilkins Ingold. Loveline is a presentation of Westwood One Entertainment.